2,800 mils of normal saline to be given over 24 hours. So it's a volume of fluid to be given over 24 hours. Remember that idea? Literally over. So we're going to divide the volume by the time. But let's see how this is going to be delivered. Calculate the drops per minute. So straight away I see this is using a giving set or a drop set. In this case, the standard giving set, because it's set to 20 drops to the mil, meaning each 1 mil is divided into 20 equal drops. So then you can imagine what the size of the drop is. So this is IV infusion with a drop set. So we need to remember that is always going to be the volume, always in milliliters, and this is the same as the pump, divided by the time. This time the time is not in hours. We will have to change that into minutes, and then we multiply by the drop set, and the drop set will always be in drops per mil. So we'll see how these units end up cancelling out, because our final answer has to be in drops per minute. So volume in milliliters, we replace that with 2,800 milliliters over the period of time, which in this case is 24 hours, but we cannot use it in hours. We need to change this into minutes. How do we change 24 hours into minutes? Multiplying the 24 by 60. So we can even just do that calculation separately and then add it here to the fraction that we have. So we could say this will be 1,440 minutes. Just doing that calculation. 24 times 60. We can even think 24 times 6 is 144, and then that's 0 because it's timesing by 10 as well. Carrying on here with the formula, so we have already entered the volume and the time. Now we need to multiply by the drop set, which is just whatever it is, 20 drops per mil. So what happens here now? We could even do some cancellation, but a special one that I think is worth looking and seeing is milliliters on the top cancels out with milliliters on the bottom, and look at what's left in terms of units. Drops per, well, and look at where the minutes is sitting on the bottom, minute. So our final answer will be drops per minute. We can write with the slash, or we can write as a word. Let's do the calculation. So roughly what are we going to get here? 2,800 divided by 1,440. Look at that. It's almost like as if we were looking at 28 divided by 14, which is roughly 2. It's just an estimate. It's not the calculation yet. So it's say 2. 2 times 20 would be 40. So the answer that we have in the back of our minds is 40 drops per minute, but we have now to use the calculator and see what we get when we divide 2,800 by 1,440 and multiply by 20. So the answer we get is 38.888 with many digits. We cannot give an answer in drops per minute. Imagine the drop has to be a whole number, so we are never going to want to keep a decimal answer. So how do we round this to the nearest whole number? Our breaking line sits right there with the decimal point. The next digit is an 8 after the breaking line, which tells us to go up. This answer could only be 38 or 39, but according to our rounding, it will have to be 39 drops per minute.